got the link a little late. We'll see who's going to join us in terms of. No viewers yet. Bummer. Okay. Well, at least we're broadcasting, but we're live. You've
live and in person.
Link. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get people on. But this is just the first time. And as usual, I will pause. And it's mainly for my audio podcast, and then introduce you guys. I'll bring on Victoria, then Ben, and then whenever Doug joins us, we'll bring him on. And it's mainly about we'll talk about the 7th anniversary of podcasting, your stuff, Ben about Mud, and Victoria, whatever you're doing. I'd love to hear more. So here we go. Oh, we got 6 viewers.
Wow.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone.
Hi, viewers.
Aloha, everyone, my patrons and listeners. This is Stuart Yoshida, host of the OokTown Podcast, where we talk about all things ukulele. This is a very special podcast. Not only is it the 7th anniversary of the OokTown Podcast, but I'm starting a new thing where I'm broadcasting live to patrons and also to followers of Victoria Fox, speaking of which, Victoria, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
She's a regular. And Victoria is a singer-songwriter, for those of you who don't know, but I mean, I think most of you know.
Everyone knows Victoria.
I get around,
She's been on the show several times. And what else can I say? She's got a new album out. We're going to talk about that. Maybe she'll play us a song or two from the album. She's been touring. We'll have to talk about that. We were just talking off air about how she got engaged, which was a really interesting story. So maybe you want to share that later on.
Sure.
and we got lots to talk about too.
Like, yes, you are officially crazy.
I want to bring on my next guest, Mr. Ben Hassinger from Michigan, the ukulele ambassador of Upper Michigan, and I guess most of Michigan.
All of Michigan, yeah.
All of Michigan.
I might expand it to the whole Midwest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Eastern Ontario, maybe.
Cool. Well, Ben's a regular on the show. Wow, we're getting 7 viewers now. This is great. I didn't know how many.
And now a word from our sponsors.
We'll do that later.
It's like Starbucks. Just kidding.
But this is cool. I'm pleased. So I want to talk about a bunch of things on this show, but mainly about the 7th anniversary of podcasting, and to celebrate or do something new. I want to try out this live podcast, and here we are.
Congratulations!
Thank you. We're going to have a quiz. We're going to give some shout outs. Yeah. And
I didn't study.
I don't want you to study for this one. I'm going to talk about the retrospective on this podcast, get your feedback. I know that Victoria has to go soon. I think she's heading out to the beach with her husband or something.
No, we don't go to the beach. We're Irish.
You had a nice bike ride yesterday, Victoria.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, 36 miles. It was awesome.
Didn't anyone warn you not to drink after you go on a really long ride?
Everyone else was, and apparently I'm the lightweight.
Oh, no. I would not do that.
They were drinking doubles, and I just was getting the regulars, but I had 2, and that was it.
Peer pressure.
I was like, here's to feeling awesome and worthless at the same time.
All right. Well, I don't know if a lot of the viewers have actually seen us. So hello, viewers. I'm Stuart, and I've been hosting this podcast. And that's Ben.
I'm Victoria.
Now you get to see what they look like. Well, where am I here on this? Exactly. Oh, shout outs. Let me give some shout outs first before we begin into the meat of things. I first wanted to send a shout out to Mary Agnes Crow. I think you folks might know her. Have you been?
I haven't been to that England one. Victoria might have been.
Yep, last year we were there.
Nice. Well, she just got married, so congratulations to Mary Agnes. She's not only a patron, but she's been a guest on the show, and she just got married to her longtime partner, and they both have kids from different places. So what am I saying?
Mars.
That's what I was
from Mars. Anyway, it's a blended family. So congratulations to all of them. Yeah, I wish we could have been there, but I bet you it was wonderful.
They should have podcasted.
She just came. Mary just came through Southern California.
Really?
I guess this was like a few months ago, and Jack and I took her out to lunch, and I think she was in the early phases of planning her wedding. But it's just, love is a beautiful thing.
It is. So glad to hear about that.
I'm really happy for her.
Awesome. And then I want to give a shout out to Zoe Bestel. I invited her to the show, but she is doing her CD release party this evening. So congratulations to Zoe. I think it's, is it called Transients?
Mm-hmm.
I think is her new CD. So congratulations to Zoe, and we'll get you on the show sometime soon. I remember Zoe, when I first had her on the show, she didn't really know about these ukulele festivals. And I'm going, oh man, you got to get on this, ukulele festival circuit. And she goes, really? They have that? And now she's everywhere. She's going to the Scotland ukulele festival, and I think she's been to Gina for one of the other ones in southern, the South there. So yeah, congratulations to Zoe. And finally, last shout out to Ukulele Abe. Let me know when you want to try out Zencaster. That sounds like a great thing. We'll see how that works. And looking forward to having you on the show. I invited him. He couldn't make it this time, so we'll have you on another show soon. Ukulele Abe, thanks. All right. Well, let's get into the topics here, because I know I want to get some feedback from Victoria before she heads out. I was looking over here because I have a clock. You can't see it. It's off screen here. But I'm keeping watch over the time. So first, let's do some fun. Let's do some trivia. How many episodes do you think we've had in these years we've been podcasting? Any guesses?
Is this like Price is Right, where the closest one
the closest,
without going over wins?
Okay, sure. We'll go with
that. 53.
Okay. Victoria?
I think we're closer to 115.
Wow, I like Victoria because she's really optimistic. We're at 68.
Yay!
You're right. That's right. Because you're under but not being over. And okay. Now
how many did you say, Ben?
53.
So you were over.
Yeah, I was over.
I like your answer too, because it was very optimistic. It's like, all right. Oh wait, there's Doug.
Oh my.
Oh, Doug.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. No, you know what, Doug. You've been out here, Victoria. How's
it going?
He doesn't look the same because he doesn't have the hat on. The big,
exactly.
Like a stovepipe hat.
The headphones get in the way of my chapeau, as it were.
Yes. Very cool. Well, we were doing the trivia quiz that you just came in the middle of. And we just talked about how many episodes we actually have done. Even though this is officially episode 66, we've actually done 68 episodes because 2 of those episodes have been interviews, and I count them. So there you go, 68. Now here's a question, and I'm not sure that even Doug will get this one. When did we record our first podcast?
Beep, in the afternoon.
Oh,
thank you very much.
7 years ago.
That would be the obvious answer. 7 years ago this month, but it would be the wrong
afternoon.
In the afternoon, but it would be the wrong answer. Doug, did you remember that we actually recorded a test podcast, which I never published, on August 12th, 2009. So 2 years before I started it, we did a test podcast, and I think I can even play it for you here. Let's see if I can find it. hold on here, and hopefully it won't crash everything when I do this. And my poor computer is going to be really, really struggling here. But let's see if this works. It's opening. It's spinning around. Okay. Tell me if you guys can hear this.
Yeah, because I think that the first wave was the.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pacific, the one that was celebrating the Panama Canal.
Right. And then the second one was the GIs returning from World War II, and then the third one right now.
All right. That was Doug and I. That was Doug. Yeah. In 2009, that was our first.
You guys sounded so much younger.
I know. The voices are a lot higher.
I even remember what we were talking about. So,
so that was our first podcast. I never published it. It was just a test. So it was in August 12th, 2009, but officially we started in April of 2011. Okay, here's another one. Who has named the most podcasts? Who do you think is named?
That would be Doug Brown.
Wow, that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
Any other guesses?
Doug Brown.
Good guess.
All right. Yes, Doug Brown. Doug Brown has named 27 episodes. Which is far and above more than anyone else. I come in second, a vast second behind him at 7 episodes.
Wow.
Flagger.
I know. So guess
for the first 2 years that we were doing this, I had a competition that you got a point if you got the podcast named after something you said, but then I didn't tell anybody about it. So that's why I'm so far ahead.
It's true. I never really told anyone. Yeah. But who comes in third? Who do you think that is? And it's someone that you all of you know.
Barack Obama.
I wish.
Gerald Ross.
Yeah, I would guess Gerald Ross.
Oh.
Yeah, Victoria, you are right. Gerald Ross, 6 episodes. That is correct. I am impressed. Woohoo!
We're tied now.
By the way.
I'm sorry. Gerald Ross had 5 episodes. I thought it was 6, but yeah, he still rocks.
Third.
All right. Next question. You guys ready? Put on your thinking caps. What was the first Denver Ukulele Festival we broadcast? Do you remember what year that was?
Was it 20?
Not 2015.
No, not 2015.
I was just checking a poster.
Oh, okay. I think you heard something.
Then 2014.
Okay.
2012.
Okay.
2013.
Okay. Ben wins.
Oh, no, it's 2012.
All right.
Episode 8.
I'm ahead.
That was when Jake Shimabukuro came by, and I did a guerrilla podcast. It was not an official it wasn't officially sanctioned, although Michael Schelkenberg, who was in charge of it, didn't mind, and he kind of tacitly said that's fine. So I was going around interviewing everybody. So 2012. All right. And
what was the first year that we did the panel in?
Good question. That's related to my next question. Very good. How many ukulele festivals do you think we have? Because that was the first one in 2012.
I'm guessing that we did it in 14, 15, 16, 17. So did we do 4 of them?
Okay, we got a guess of 4. Who else? Who else wants to guess? Do simple math here. Did we do it at every festival or not? Everyone's thinking. We haven't gone. Another hint is the festival is in May this year, so we haven't done it this year yet. That's another hint.
I'm going to say 15 because that was the first time I did the panel.
No, how many? No, not
how many?
Yeah. 5. Okay, we got 5.
What did I guess?
3. You guessed 4.
Yeah,
I'll say
it's gonna be 3. All right.
I'm gonna say
Ben,
4.
you are on a roll. Ben is right with 5.
That was the math. I had to use a calculator on the computer to figure it
Right,
out.
but we actually attempted to have 6. We've been officially at the festival every year starting in 2013, and one year, which that 2013 was the infamous lost podcast recording where I set everything
I
up.
remember that.
Yeah,
I was in tears.
you were in tears because
It was so bad. It was
Wait a second. You were drinking beers?
Well, that helped me get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I set it up on my computer and thought everything was going great, it practiced at home, and then when it came to my setup, it was recording the ambient sound of the recording engineer shuffling around.
Oh no.
So from that year on, I had Swallow Hill do the recording, and it's been perfect ever since. Oh, that was such a sad time. We had such a great show. That was, but Doug was on the panel, Star Bell, Gordon from Mayamoy. What else? All those people. Sorry to say it, I lost it. Okay. And that was it for my trivia. But I did want to share a little bit. Since Victoria actually it's coming time for Victoria to go. Did you want to share a song or anything, Victoria?
Sure. I
Your
can
new.
give a song.
Yeah.
So I've got my Moe slotted headstock ukulele here.
Nice.
Jealous of that slotted. I want one of those.
And their ukes have been my workhorses for the past since about 2011. So it's I'm gonna do a tune called "Only Time Will Tell," and it's off of the new album. Which now that I have you on video,
Ooh.
I can actually show everybody. So this is the new album.
Ooh, nice.
It's
Yeah, which
really
I designed
good, too.
myself, but it has a die cut cover here.
I know.
And so when you slide, there's a heart here. I don't know if you can see, and then when you slide it
Yes.
out, and then
Yeah.
it says "Fear of failure has no sound." And then when you look at the cover again, it's all white and
Is
all
that you?
color.
Is that you on the cover?
That is me when I was about 8 years
cute.
old.
That is so cute. Were you like putting a piece of film in front of your face?
Yeah, it was a large format negative. My parents did photography, and my mom did her own had a light room, a dark room.
Yeah, that's so
and
cool.
would expose her own photographs. And so we had I found the matching photo to this, which was of my sister doing the same thing. So we were actually, it was just like, oh, let's take pictures and be artsy. And we're holding up the negatives and looking through
Victoria,
them.
where do you go to get that CD? Where would one go to?
Well, the best place is to go artist direct, which is at victoriavox.com. And otherwise, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, all of those other less paying websites, maybe a little more convenient for you, which, is fine. I have no problem with any of them. But the website is where you're going to get I'll get the most support, the biggest bang for your buck. And also you just get to see a little bit more than what the internet forces you to see.
Excellent.
Oh, internet.
Go. Well, at least you're not working for a record company.
Yeah. I work for my own.
Well, yeah, but
Ovis Music.
you still wouldn't be getting any more money from
No.
them, really.
So this is it's a bossa nova tune on the record. It's called "Only Time Will Tell," and I actually wrote this one a long time ago. It was in 2011 at leaving Australia after the Cairns Ukulele Festival, and I had always loved this song, and it just never, I think the timing of when I wrote it, it was right before I started the 52 original song project. So it was just this song that I wrote that kind of got lost in the shuffle of writing a slew of new tunes. And so I was really happy to finally put out a recording of this track. So there we go, and a complete with a mouth trumpet solo. So beware. I've already done a little sound check, so hopefully I won't blast your ears out. Is what I feel in my heart true? Does it go the same for you? Are we meant to be? Only time will tell. Is it worth the sleepless nights? A bottled up heartache inside? Will they go away? Only time will tell. It's not like me to sit and wait patiently. It's not like me to sit and wait patiently. It's not like me to sit and wait patiently. It's not like me to sit and wait patiently. Is what I feel in my heart true? Does it go the same for you? Are we meant to be? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yay!
Nice.
Get the lighters out.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I've got a that's on your new CD, right?
Yep, that's in track number 4.
Okay, that's my new favorite track.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I like this song. The bridge, the B section is kind of cool because it's in 4/4 time, the whole song, except when it goes to the B section, it drops into 3.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
1, 2, like 1. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, then the 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of like having to, have these like 10 time signature changes.
Yeah.
Fun.
Wow, multi-tempo song. I like it. Awesome.
Well, thanks for having me play.
Yeah.
Great. I love Victoria. Same Dirt and Colorful Heart.
Yes.
Are my two
I was gonna
favorites
say
on there.
Same Dirt. I
Yeah,
like that
that's
song too.
That's my
they're all
mom's
great.
favorite.
Is it?
It's the same dirt.
We're trying to tell you something.
Yeah, and Jack's favorite is Sounds of Summer.
Sounds of Summer. Okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of the reggae one with the cool bridge.
Yep.
And yeah, Kick It Back is probably one of my favorites.
Kick It Back is great.
That's
I
just
that
makes you want to exercise.
It does. Yep. They're all good.
They are.
Yeah, I just got the review from in Ukulele magazine for the album. So I haven't had a lot of time to properly promote this. I just sold the house in Baltimore, and so it's just been kind of a whirlwind of a life, since the technical release of the album. But I did get one review in so far, and hopefully more to come.
Absolutely.
Trying to get the word out.
One more review. It's awesome.
Thanks, Doug.
Well, Nick Cody from the Original Songs platform loved that CD too.
Oh yeah, he did. He got an early release for that. Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna mention to Doug. I think you should put your screen with us on it in the screen with your webcam, because I noticed that you are now. Okay, because you were looking away for a while. Ooh. Okay.
Who is
listening? You're muted, Doug. You muted yourself, Doug.
You muted me. I did. Nobody muted me. No, I'm looking up links and stuff like that.
Okay, I got it. Sorry. Never mind. Okay. Well, I want to do. I know, Victoria. Whenever you have to leave, just say so. I'm gonna do 3 sections on reflection of the 7 years of podcasting. I want to get your feedback on all of these. And I want to start off, of course, with the beginning. And what really started me on this journey for podcasting was I tried out instructional videos, and I worked a lot. I did a lot of work. I was on it, planned it out, videotaped it, all that kind of stuff. And then after posting them onto my website, I looked a little bit closer at the stuff already there. And that's when I ran into Ukulele Underground. And I go, wow, I'm not going to compete with this. I was so deflated. And I love Aldrine. He does a wonderful job. So if you guys want to check out his site, it's still around, Ukulele Underground. But when I saw that, and I saw how many people were watching, and those beginner videos were all free, I was like, what? They're all on YouTube, and then he had a premium site. I don't know if he had it at that time, but I think that's where they were going. He might have been getting the revenue from the ads. Regardless, talk about feeling kind of deflated and defeated. And out of that disappointment, I started thinking about other things I could do, even though I was still trying to make these videos work. And Doug, that's when I came up with this idea of podcasting. And that's when I tried it out back in 2009. Never got to kick it off until a couple years later, just because of life, moving and this and that. But out of that defeat, I guess, or failure, that's how I got pointed in the direction of podcasting. And so that's a lot, I think, about how it is in life in general, but maybe in particular in ukulele. We have these things that we go, oh gosh, I want to do this or that on the ukulele. Maybe we can or we can't. But when we can't, it really helps us point us in a different direction, or where we truly should be going. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Don't ever go back into video lessons. Is that what you're maybe?
Well, I know that. So Aldrine, for a while, he was putting out a podcast with where it was it was just him and his buddies kind of talking, and I have never felt so much like a stalker in all of my life, because all of a sudden I knew a lot about Aldrine Guerrero. And but one of the things that he said was that they kind of came to a place where they said, you know what, we're just going to put this all out there, and we're going to we're going to see how it grows, and we won't worry about the money now. And that's when Ukulele Underground, the premium site started, and like they offer. I think their idea is that they offer different income streams to themselves, but really Ukulele Underground is all about being free and just putting ukulele out there for the people.
I think
he's awesome.
I think he's doing well with that model. So what are your thoughts, Victoria, before you leave?
Oh gosh, I was just listening to Doug. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're listening to Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, I think, just you have to just do something and try it out and see if it works. And it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. And, before you throw it, you can't think of like, is this going to make any money? Or you just have to, if you believe in what you do, and eventually it's kind of being like water. And you kind of find that crack or wherever that you're going to fit, or the, and just seeing what sticks.
So the income streams from throwing spaghetti at a wall. I'm very confused here. In the water with the wetter, with the wall.
No, you're not throwing water at the wall. No, this is two different. Being like water and being flexible to change direction as needed, and then, but yeah, I mean, anything you do, it's kind of, it's like, well, we'll give this a try. And
well, yeah, I mean, look at you. You did that 52 videos, right? Which is amazing. And probably stuff came out of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, the 52 covers, and then, which helped inspire the 52 originals. And been kind of feeling like doing another 52 set.
Nice.
But I just don't know. It's like when I started out on that whole 52 cover song project, I did not know that there would be a second year part to that goal.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, now we're writing 52 songs. And so I would hate to sign up, because that's 2 years. And that's a big, time commitment. And the cover songs were doable with like traveling and, really just kind of having a busy schedule, and in my free time would, memorize someone else's songs. And then, but the writing one, I really had to, I enjoyed kind of removing myself from, social media in a way, and that it wasn't about, I was only sharing what I was writing with the subscribers, but it was a very kind of an incubator type scenario, as far as I'm working on this music and I'm home and I'm, just really getting into the songwriting of it, and not like, hey, look at me, or I just wrote this public. It wasn't for public consumption. It was like, if you're supporting what I'm doing, thank you and awesome. And I don't expect you to tell me whether you like the song or not. I wasn't asking for any, there wasn't any feedback, except when my mom called a couple times. She's like, I don't like that one. Like, Mom.
Let it go.
I said specifically in the direction that I would not listen to your feedback. But basically, I said, I'm like, don't expect 52 amazing Victoria Vox songs.
Yeah.
So you'll get 52 songs. I don't know what they'll be.
Right.
But I kind of put it out there with this broad,
Well, talk about doing that thing where you just throw it out there, and then, the quote failures or the things that you decide aren't what you need. And you may not decide that consciously. I think it's just out there, and the ones that you like and you gravitate to are probably the ones that you needed to do, and the rest of them are not failures, they're just experiments. And I think a lot of this stuff should be looked at that way, is that, we're doing these things, some of it's going to work and a lot of it isn't. I mean,
I just saw this really inspiring Will Smith video, something passing through on Facebook in the video feed. But it was basically Will Smith saying, like, set yourself up for failure. Like, you should always try to the point of failing, because it's from those failures that you will learn how to do it better next time. And so if you're too scared to try, you'll never really,
absolutely
succeed. And that's one thing, one of the quotes on my new t-shirts for the album, it says, "Fear of failure has no sound." And so it's kind of like,
it sounds like
scared of trying, you're just gonna, you're not gonna say anything, but just like you got to say something to, to fail and to learn and grow.
Although in my case, fear of failure sounds like me going to the bathroom. Just throwing that out there. Sorry, was I sharing too much?
That's too much. Too much there.
Yeah. And we're live.
Oh, wait, I forgot. All right.
Yeah, we'll catch that.
It's out there forever now.
It wasn't like the test podcast. Darn it. All right. Ben, what are your thoughts?
You guys have said a lot of stuff. The rivers, the spaghetti, the bathroom. But what's interesting about this podcast is usually, and Victoria can attest to this, whenever you do an interview, it's like 5 minutes or something. You're at a radio station. You got to get all of your little bullet points in right then. And I really enjoy this long form because you can kind of stretch out what you want to talk about. Sometimes I don't know, we've had ones before, Stuart, where I don't even know what subject we were talking about. It went into this whole another realm. And so I think this is pretty cool. I really like this long form.
Great. Well, yeah, we're famous for going off the rails.
That's right.
That's one of
way off the rails. Hey, before Victoria leaves, I want to share one thing with you guys. I have this ukulele here.
Awesome.
I have this ukulele. This is my first ukulele I ever got. Let's see. You can see who signed it there.
I think that's upside down.
Yeah.
But that's Victoria?
That's what my signature looks like.
My first ukulele, it was in 2009. I just come back. I was in Hawaii, and believe it or not, there was an ukulele festival going on. And I got all excited about the ukulele. And I went on the Elderly Instruments website, and I saw Victoria was doing a workshop. And so I emailed her. I guess I must have emailed you or something, and said, "Hey, are you doing a show while you're there? Because I'd really like to come hear you." She goes, "No." And I go, "Well, let's do a show." So you did a show, and you helped me pick out my first ukulele at Elderly Instruments. And then you drove either all night or early in the morning to Canada, to Toronto, to do an interview. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ottawa.
Playing her ukulele.
From Lansing to Ottawa. I left, I think I packed up. It was like 11 p.m. and I got into Ottawa at like 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she helped me pick out my first. She's responsible for all of this crazy stuff.
Wow, I didn't realize it.
Yeah. And another thing about Victoria is Lansing loves her because she's played in Lansing a lot. And before you go, she will be at the Midwest Uke Camp in Olivet at near the end of June. So we're looking forward to seeing you in person.
Yeah, the Midwest Uke and harmonica and mouth trumpet.
And mouth trumpet. She's going to do a mouth trumpet workshop.
Wow, awesome.
That's going to be cool. So.
Well, I thought I would throw in the yeah, I'm right there with you.
James.
Nice.
Victoria.
Wow.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
I feel bad because I feel like I should show you something with Victoria's signature. Did you autograph my CD? Because I'll go and get it if we.
I don't know if I did.
Oh shoot! Oh wow, nice. Well, Victoria, if you have to take off, I understand.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
this was fun. I like the video. You can play show and tell.
And we have 14 viewers now, so this is exceeded my expectation on how.
Awesome.
14 viewers got to hear about your stuff going on.
Yeah.
The spaghetti is sticking.
Exactly.
All right, this is great. Okay,
see you in a couple of months,
guys.
Victoria.
We'll see you.
I have to figure out how to turn you guys off. Bye.
Everybody's trying to do that.
Oh, there she goes. All right, cool. Oh, I like this. She fades out.
There go our 14 viewers right now.
I know.
Exactly.
I know. I'm expecting them to go down real soon.
Let's watch three guys talk about ukuleles.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to see that.
All right, Doug. Well, I don't know if you had a chance to chime in about. I guess you did. You talked about Ukulele Underground.
Yeah, I was the first one.
Okay.
Yes.
There, I just wanted to make sure. All right. Here's my. I guess before we go into the second section of my reflection, I did want to talk about kind of, this is not the regular commercial break, because I want to talk more about expanding the viewership. And that's my big thing now. Of course, I still want everyone to go to patreon.com/OokTown, OOKTOWN, or see the link in our show notes to support this. Look, if you support us, some viewers might be from Victoria, but if you enjoy this show, all paying patrons will get access to the live feed, and eventually, hopefully, we'll figure out how to get everything working. But you'll be able to chat with us too. Let's see if anyone has chatted yet, other than Doug. Doug, you're doing an awesome job. Love it. Thank you. But you'll be able to chat with us. If I'm not having the chat working yet, I will figure it out. But you also get to see us live. So. Oh, we got a new subscriber too, Pamela Rossetti. Oh, wow. I love it. In real time. Thank you, Pamela, for subscribing. But I want to get, the goal I have this year is to get to 2,000 listeners. Right now, I was so impressed. At the end of the year, we broke 1,000, which is great. We're creeping up to like 1,300 or 1,400 listeners per month. I want to get it up to 2,000 by the end of the year. That would be awesome. You know, we started off slow. It was just Doug and I don't know if anyone ever listened to us. We just threw it out there on iTunes, and slowly over time, more and more people, and a couple hundred were listening, and then just recently, I think. We did some, we got some pro bono advertisement on the Ukulele app. So thanks to those guys. And then now I want to bump it up and kick it up to 2,000. So here's how you can help us out. Tell your friends about the OokTown Podcast. Tell them to go to iTunes and look up OOKTOWN, or go to OokTown.com/podcast. You can subscribe there. Either way, send them a link, send them our way if you enjoy this, and tell them, listen, we need to keep growing the ukulele army here so we can bring peace, love, and ukulele to the rest of the world. That's my pitch. And with that, let's get back to reflections on 7 years of podcasting. Let's see. So one of the things about this podcast that you mentioned, Ben, is the format. And I'll have to say, after I had that failure at instructional videos, I said, let me look around and see what's out there in terms of podcasting. And the one that I kept on coming back to was a tech podcast called Twit, This Week in Tech, hosted by Leo Laporte. At the time, podcasting was still in, I guess it's infancy. It's been around for 3 or 4 years at that time. This was, to me, the best podcast I had seen. And so I stole everything. I didn't just copy. I mean, really, it may be about ukulele. The only thing I changed mainly was the topic, but I stole the format. I said, oh, I love the panel format. I started off trying to do it via the news feeds, like on Ukulele News and everything. Didn't work very well because, as you guys probably know, the news cycle on ukulele is pretty slow in terms of like not that much earth-shaking things have been going on. So that's the only thing I couldn't figure out for a while. And I don't know how I did it, or how it came to this, but over time I started going, well, I guess I'm going to have to just come up with topics on my own, and I can't rely on the news cycle like they do on Twit, because there's so many things happening on the news cycle for technology. So this idea of kind of stealing and then making it your own is what I gathered what I needed to do. And I just wanted to get your.
I mean, the format that you use. I mean, it's not like you're stealing specifically from them, just because like this is not a super uncommon format. The panel show with a host and asking questions about the. I mean, there aren't a whole bunch of long format. I mean, that's one of the things that I think makes it kind of unique, is the long format layout of it. That you don't see that as much. A lot more of them are, oh, here's 5 minutes where I'm going to talk about, and which I love those, the really quick hit. They get you what you need, and then they get right on out of there. And we get you what you need, and then throw some talking about robots and dinosaurs in there.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff we do. I do love the long format, but it does take a little bit of getting used to, and I'm glad we've been able to work on it. Ben, what are your thoughts?
Well, let's see. We're talking about spaghetti. What was it?
Stealing ideas.
Stealing ideas. I don't know if you're never stealing. You're kind of more influenced, or you're more inspired by. I don't know. Like, here to get off the subject again. Songwriting. I don't know if how much you guys write and things, but I'll find myself writing something. I'm going, oh, it sounds like this. It sounds like that. And, you kind of can't help that, because that's what you grew up listening to. That's what you're inspired by. So if you can kind of honor that without directly copying it, and it could be the same thing for a podcast. Like Doug said, there's a lot of panel kind of things. But to take that inspiration, take it in a little different direction. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not stealing. You're just being inspired and adapting something.
I actually feel there's nothing wrong per se, but I agree with you. By the way, it is not necessarily. It's not copying in that I'm not trying to do another tech show with a panel, right? But I am stealing the idea of, well, let's take the panel, let's do a long format, but I still need to come up with content on my own.
Right.
The original part of it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, and I think when you change to the format where you would send out the questions beforehand and have everybody, I mean, I think it makes for a better prepared panel when you have an idea, as opposed to, I think some of those early podcasts, we were kind of like, well,
right.
Let's talk about ukuleles. They got 4 strings.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it was me just having things rattling around my head and then trying to come up with them on the fly. And after a while, I go, it's a lot easier to talk when I have it written down. So that's what I started doing.
What a concept.
Oh, I know it is. Hey, you learn, right? That's the fun part.
Exactly.
Which is the next part of the last part. Fast forward 7 years, actually 9 years if you count the one we did but never published. There's something to be said about perseverance and learning. Just keep chipping away at it, making it better over time. And it's not expecting perfection. I had to keep telling myself that, especially after the experience with the videos, the lesson videos when I compared it to the other stuff that was out there. I probably didn't think about the fact that, Aldrine and those guys have probably been doing it much longer. They've had more time. They've done many hours. I mean, I think they devoted a lot to it. They at least from my observation, boy, they must have put in a lot of time to get that right and find the right locations and, just rehearse it, because it's really hard to do that in just one take. So the idea of letting myself fail and then forgiving myself, and then things like the Lost Podcast, that's a learning experience, right? It's like, don't ever do that again. I have the professionals recorded during this time, which is what I'm doing nowadays. And then just let go of the disappointment, the embarrassment, the frustration, and then focus in on the long term. They say that to perfect anything, I think this might be an exaggeration, but it's like 10,000 hours to master a skill. That's kind of the thing that people say. I don't know if it's 10,000, but it's a while. You don't get it overnight.
100,000 probably.
Yeah, 100,000. Oh no.
Well, you know, I don't want to interrupt you, but one of my favorite sayings is an imperfect something is better than a perfect nothing. Mm-hmm. So if you wait till whatever you do is going to be absolutely perfect, you are never going to do it. You know, when I first decided on my first Mighty Uke Day, my first Mighty Uke Day festival, that it was going to be this big grand thing, it never would have happened. It just started out as a little showing of the movie and an open mic. And each year we just kept adding to it. We learned each year. And, you know, now we have our 8th festival coming up. And it's not perfect. I'll tell you that right now. But we've learned as we've gone along. And if we never took that first step, the first step's always the hardest, right? If we never took that first step, we never would have ended up with anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing is, you know, I was thinking of delaying this live podcast because I wasn't quite sure if I had everything. And obviously I didn't, because the link for you guys to join didn't quite work. But more importantly, I did figure out from having the viewers here, and thank you viewers, that the live link was the right link, which is more important because I could always bring you guys in. Yeah.
Well, I always figure that part of my job here is to make sure that it doesn't go perfect. So if there's ever a show that isn't perfect, you can go, oh, that's just Doug being Doug.
You're doing a great job, Doug.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we love Doug. Oh, let's see here.
The podcast that the Super Stalker podcast for Aldrine is it's now called the Ukulele Underground podcast, but originally it was the Adventures of the K-Town Heroes.
Yes, I remember that.
And I mean it's really interesting and cool to listen to him talk about all the things that he did to make Ukulele Underground happen. But it did feel kind of stalkerish to know that much about another person.
Look, if he's sharing it, what can you say? I don't know. I think that's okay. Wow. Let's go on to let's wind down here a little bit. I want to talk about what you think we should continue to do, what we should start doing, and maybe what we should stop doing. And let's see. And you know, my thoughts here are I'm really glad we tried this out. So continue to do new things, especially things like this. And we'll see if this is the right direction. You know, it may just fizzle, who knows? Or it may grow. I'm hoping it grows. Let's try it out. So what are your guys' thoughts? What should we continue, start, and stop?
Yeah, Ben, what's your suggestions on this?
Well, let's see. I think, you know, you've had me on way too many times. No, you know what's fun actually is just like what Victoria did. I think it'd be fun to have a little more music on it, where people get a chance to play. No, the audio quality isn't perfect, but you know, it's good enough. People enjoy it, I think. And that would be kind of cool. And the video, I think the video is pretty cool. I think if, you know, once you, seems like you got it all figured out now, this is good. And part of it is, I think just getting a hold of some of the other guests, like you've mentioned before. You know, problem is so many of these people we want to interview, they're traveling, they're touring, they're doing this. And it's kind of hard to go, okay, let's sit down for an hour and a half somewhere, and they might be in a hotel room with some crappy Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah.
But I like the live playing. I think that would be a nice
cool
addition to things.
Yeah, we haven't done too much of that. And by the way, you sound great, Ben. And so I just wanted to mention, thanks to you viewers, patrons out there, we got Ben Snowball mic, and you sound fantastic.
Nice.
There you go. Snowball with the red eye. It looks
A black snowball. That's like the end of the year snowball. Like with all the road junk
right.
on it.
That's right. Only someone from Michigan would think no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we just got rid of our wait, I'm not gonna say that.
No, yeah,
I
don't.
think we just got rid of it all.
We just had a storm front come through Colorado, and hopefully it's the last one. We'll see. It can happen at any time. It could happen in May where we'll get dumped on.
Well, you know, we've got our
break.
festival coming up in May.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago, Mighty Uke Day 6, 2 years ago, that's when it was Kamaka's 100th anniversary. So we had Chris Kamaka here. We had Kalei Gamiao, Aya Young came up, and it's hailed in May.
Oh, no.
And all the people from Hawaii, oh, this is so cool. Like, no, it's not. So yeah, Mighty Uke Day is coming up. It's our big festival in Lansing, Michigan. And this will be our 8th year. And as I said before, we started out just showing the movie and having an open mic. And it's grown since then. Victoria was here in Mighty Uke Day 5. Stu Fuchs has been here. Danielle, Kalei, Heidi and Daniel, just all kinds of people. James and Ann have been here. And this year, we're bringing James Hill and Ann Janelle back again. We're going to have Cynthia Lynn's going to be here for her first trip to the Midwest. Abe Lagramis Jr., ukulele, and then hometown favorite Joel Mabus, who's primarily known as a banjo player and a guitar player, does a lot of the big folk festivals. But he originally started playing the ukulele and just released an old ukulele CD called Ukulele Crimes. And then Carla Kane, who lives in the Bay City or in the Bay Area. Oh no, don't remind me, Doug. Oh no.
Yeah.
Days.
Morning.
Oh my
How
God.
far away is it? I can't remember. You know.
She lives in the Bay Area and is with a band called the Corner Laughers, but her in-laws live in Portland, Michigan, a little town right close to Lansing. So she's going to be here too. And we got a lot of our workshops are actually sold out, but we've got some great concerts in a beautiful auditorium at the community college here. And there's open mic. The world's largest ukulele is going to be here. See if you can find a picture of that, Doug.
Oh yeah.
It's the Guinness Book of World Records.
I love Doug. I love having Doug because he's like the line producer or something. I mean, he comes.
Yeah, there's a picture of it right at the top. There we go.
There we go. It's in a truck. You know,
and that truck is a 1959 perfectly restored Chevy pickup truck.
Ooh.
So you can tell, like, we have it out at Mighty Uke Day, and you can tell who are the ukulele people and who are just the people that wander by. Because the ukulele people get a picture with the ukulele, and the people just stumbled in. I want to picture me in the front of that truck.
Yeah.
So it's great. And it's in this area called Old Town Lansing, which is kind of the cool, artsy part of Lansing. It's where Elderly Instruments is, a lot of gift stores and all these things. And it's in about 10 different locations. So it's not one of these self-contained type of things in a convention center or something, which is fine. But ours is, you just kind of walk around this part of Old Town. We have a little shuttle bus that goes between the different stops. And I think it makes it unique as compared to some of the other festivals. And all the money raised goes to support a nonprofit that I run called Music as a Foundation, which supports music programs in local schools. Actually, it's getting not just mid-Michigan, but Michigan schools, communities. We're doing a library program this summer where we've got 10 libraries lined up so far that we're donating ukuleles to. And then I'm going to teach workshops and do concerts and have group strums. But people can go to the library and check out the ukulele like they would a book. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. We got a great lineup, and it's only 18 days away. I was relaxed until you showed me that, Doug.
18 days.
I do what I can.
Thanks.
You know what's this year we're kind of like coming up into a collision course with all the other ukulele festivals. I think that's about the same time that the Gnuff is over in England, and also around the same time as the Denver Ukulele Festival.
Denver Uke Fest.
So we're gonna have
the same weekend as Denver, I think.
Okay, then
Aren't you 11th through 13th?
yes. So
that's why I never get to go to.
Well, this is like we're going to have maximum ukulele festival density on that weekend because there's going to be 3 major festivals happening at the same time on that weekend, and there might be more. I'm sure there are. This is kind of nuts. That's why I was mentioning to Zoe is like, man, get on the ukulele festival train because it's that's gonna.
Well, and the big thing too, just from my advice to any performers that want to get into the ukulele festival is really develop some good workshops, because that's what I really look for. It's great. You can be the greatest performer in the world, but a big part, at least of the events I run, is the workshop aspect. So that's kind of some advice I give to people trying to get into this. Really get some good workshops together.
So really if you're a terrible performer but you give a good workshop,
you can be an okay performer and give a great workshop, and you need them both. But like camp, like Midwest Uke, which is in June at Uke and Harmonica Camp, that's geared more towards workshops, and the performance is secondary. Although everybody that comes teaches are great performers. Whereas Mighty Uke Day, it's maybe geared a little more towards performance, but also a big aspect is workshop. So every festival or camp has a balance of that.
Right.
But I can't overemphasize the importance of doing good workshops.
And I am trying to convince all those other, not you in particular, Ben, but the other bigger ukulele festivals that the OokTown podcast, this is my performance. And I do have workshops. See?
If you didn't have to go to Denver every year, we'd love to have you at Mighty Uke.
I would love to come out to other ones.
Let him off the hook.
You can't leave Denver.
Let him off the hook 1 year.
Okay. Believe it or not, I think where am I? One thing that I wanted to ask of you, Ben, in particular, but also other organizers is, all those performers that come to your festivals, send them my way too. I would love to have more guests on the show. I still want to get Cynthia Lynn on. That would be fun. And I think it'd be nice
in Australia, or she would have done this one.
Geez, Australia.
She was just coming back or something.
Oh, is it Australia or New Zealand? I mean, but either way, that's fantastic. I was like, man.
Her last thing was something about Australia. James and Ann are in the UK right now. They're actually flying directly from Scotland, I think.
Oh, they're at the Scotland. They're at the Scotland.
They're flying directly from there to Lansing.
Oh, wow. Oh, geez.
And Alder too, the young Alder.
Well, they'll get to meet Zoe Bestel. They might have already met her before because she's been at several. That's cool.
Look her up. How do you spell her last name? Bestel.
Yep. And I'm not even sure. That's how I'm pronouncing it. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure. And I should give a shout out to Pachin Uchiyama. He's one of the organizers for Ukuleles for a Cause. It was where all those luthiers for a cause got together, and and one big sponsor just said, you know what, I'm going to take all these ukuleles, and I don't know, he like donated over $100,000 or something insane like that, and bought them. Anyway, I wanted to get Patchen on sometime. I want to get James Hill back on, Heidi and Daniel back on, Brian Tolentino back on. I don't know who else are we missing here, Ben?
You obviously had Gerald. I mean, there's Stu Fuchs. I don't know if you've had him on.
I haven't had Stu.
He would really give a different perspective on things. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he's got his own little Rev. Have you had Rev on at all?
I've reached out to him.
I've talked to Rev a bunch of times, but I don't know that we've ever had him on the podcast.
Well, I know it was at the time. I think his wife was sick, but we definitely invited him to the OokTown podcast when he was out in Denver.
Oh, we should get on that because he's great to talk to. Talking to Molly Lewis again, and actually Danielle has not been on the speaking.
I read Danielle. She's busy, and but she does want to come by. I would love to have another Molly and Danielle show. That would be awesome.
That was awesome.
I love Danielle.
That I have to say, I think A Moody Songwriting Bear is my favorite out of all of the episodes we've ever had. That was my favorite episode.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty epic. We were both going off the rails so badly. But yeah, so Ben, just
Nellie McKay. Have you ever had her?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no.
She was at the, I want to say the 7th Denver Uke Fest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nellie McKay.
So that, or maybe probably before that, because it was before we started podcasting at that was still at the G2 or.
Right. And I there's a couple festivals that I didn't make it to, and I bet you that's where she was.
You know, Beloff might do something.
Beloff's been on.
Some luthiers. It'd be interesting maybe to have luthier.
That's a great idea. I should try and get David Gomes, who made my ukuleles, but any of those luthiers. I have had Gordon on from Maiamoa.
We've got a great luthier in Michigan, Dave Talsma.
Okay.
He makes some beautiful ukes. Yeah, I'll put out the word to some people.
Yeah, do that. Nice. You want to be the go-between? We'd love that.
Eddie Vedder, you probably get him. He's not.
He's been on so many times.
We're just buds. Oh yeah.
We're like Eddie, you got to give us a little.
No,
space.
Eddie, we can't have you on again. Right.
Amanda Palmer would be amazing. I don't know if you can get her. There's
Garfunkel and Oates would be awesome.
Oh,
we're talking about Dream Team.
Yeah, great.
Well, let's keep dreaming because you never know. Daniel Hall, we have had him on.
You know who else is Greg Hawkes?
Greg Hawkes, don't know him.
Well, he was a keyboard player for the Cars, and he did a Beatles CD and Beatles ukulele CD, which is great. And I saw him. I went and saw Todd Rundgren. He's Todd Rundgren's keyboard player now.
Ooh.
And I went and saw Todd Rundgren. I talked to Greg for a while afterwards, trying to talk him into maybe doing Mighty Youth Day. You might talk to Bakiti.
Who's Bakiti?
Bakiti Kamalo, the bass player. He plays U-bass, Paul Simon's bass player.
Oh, no kidding.
He's actually fairly accessible.
Okay.
Hanukkah and Azita, have you ever had like them or?
I walk off the Earth is one of the other ones that kind of
those guys are awesome.
The dream idea, and those guys are so internet savvy. It'd be very cool and very easy. See, that's why I love some. When you have that combination of internet savvy and interesting person and ukulele player, it's a winning formula. And that's why I was thinking Cynthia Lynn would be great too, because I know she does a lot of YouTube and things like that. So that would be wonderful.
It's interesting this year. I mean, obviously people want to come see James and Ann. They want to do everything, but a lot of people are super interested to see Cynthia because they grew up learning how to play ukulele, by watching her YouTube instructional videos, and she'd never been to the Midwest. So people are really kids, like some of the one of the schools here in town that has like 12-year-old kids, they want to see Cynthia Lynn because they learned how to play watching her videos. So
it's neat. Wow. It's she was one of the people where I was like, well, it's like, well, Ukulele Underground, what else do you need? And people were like, it's different people and they connect in different ways. And,
exactly.
And obviously Cynthia does. And maybe I should have kept that in mind. Although I really don't have much regret now about pursuing podcasting over trying to do instructional videos. I think this suits me better. And maybe that's just sour grapes. I don't know.
No, there's all different ways of getting information and getting the word out. And this is a unique way. So that's good.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So I have 2 ukulele stories really quick.
Absolutely.
Number 1, my twin brother, Uncle Dave, went to Hawaii this last month and got kicked out of the Hilton ukulele store.
What?
Because he said he walked in and they had all the ukuleles have big "Do Not Touch" signs on them, and he was looking around. The lady came up and said, "Oh, are you in the market for a ukulele?" He's like, "I'm just kind of looking." She's like, "Oh, well, we have a starter ukulele for $450. He's like,
wow.
"Oh." And he's like, nah, right now I'm just kind of looking around. And she followed him all the way through the store until he finally was like, okay.
Wow.
And then the other story, I thought that was a great story. The other story, it has to do with the new issue of Ukulele magazine with Casey McGill on the front of it. So this has been sitting on my on the nightstand for a while, and my wife looked at it and said, "What's wrong with his hand?" And if you look, you can see they did some photoshopping.
Oh, I didn't even recognize that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I must have looked at it a dozen times, and now that's the only thing I see when I look at the front of the.
I've
Now
never
I want to
seen that
grab
cover
that
the same
magazine
way.
cover. I was like, I didn't even notice that, and I've looked at it for a while.
Actually,
So, Ukulele magazine, great magazine. Everybody
is.
should go out and get it right away. But
that'll be a collector's item. That
yeah,
well, our friend Cynthia Kinnunen is in that magazine.
Yes, that is a right.
She's got a nice
Shout out
little article.
Yeah, that was. I was surprised when I saw her. I was like, "Ooh, good on you."
Heidi did a really nice article on Mighty Uke Day last year. The whole Lansing, Michigan ukulele scene, actually.
Wow.
That's a great magazine.
You know, I'm gonna have to say that just doing it with everyone on the video, it's been so much more interactive feeling. I don't know. I feel so much more energy and
connected. You feel more connected.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm liking this.
And you didn't have to get up and go to the bathroom. I mean, that was great.
Oh yeah.
Throw some spaghetti on the walls.
I'm holding it in. Anyway.
Once again, more than we really need to know. But
okay, well, I think we can wrap this one up.
It's going downhill quick.
We still have 3 viewers.
The FCC hasn't called yet, so.
Yeah. Well, where was I going with this? Oh, well.
Aloha.
Yeah. A couple things. We will be doing this again, and apologize to my patrons. I didn't send this out to you until the last minute. I sent it out last night, kind of late, so apologize for that. We'll get it out sooner next time. And we will. The next thing I'm going to try and figure out is how to let you guys chat, because there's a way that you guys should be able to send us messages and ask questions. Not to say that I guarantee anything, but that's another thing I want to figure out. Yeah, I know but this is just a learning experience, right? This is all part of it. We will get better.
It's an imperfect something.
It's an imperfect something. Although this was a perfect time to have the show. It was good. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Ben,
Mighty Uke Day.
Mighty Uke Day. Woohoo.
MightyUkeDay.com. Don't go to Denver. You don't have to go there. You can
No,
go
no.
to them both. Go to them both. We have a shuttle flight between the two. Hey, Doug.
There's more than
we got to work on the transporter things.
Ooh,
where they can step into like a booth and go from one to the other.
That's Star Trek stuff. I don't play.
Well,
with that.
And of course
Star Wars.
Star Wars, and that's it.
I think that one we better have the perfect something before we put that one in.
Although anymore, not to digress, but apparently Jedis can astrally project themselves.
Right.
So
that's right. That's right.
There we go. Ukulele Jedi.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, that's the name of my next album, as a matter of fact.
Ukulele.
I already got the domain name.
All right, Ben, I actually think you named the show. Nice.
There we go. Ukulele Jedi. Great.
Doug,
Yes.
is this a double dip month or what's happening?
No, we just had rain songs yesterday, and it was super successful. And
it was so perfect because yesterday we had a lot of precipitation.
We did. It was a little more solid than I was hoping for. We got a bunch of snow down here, but I mean not a bunch, but yeah, and just a great time. And super fun. And then next month, because we had April showers, we're going to have flower songs. So that should be pretty cool. And not that anybody. This is kind of secret, so I wasn't supposed to tell anybody. But of course, because it's me, I'm going to tell anybody anyway. Tracy Warnke is going to be there. She was not able to get a ticket out to the Denver Uke Fest, but she was able to get the next weekend. And she said, in all reality, I just want to come out and see you guys anyway. So my vice president is going to be there, so that should be super duper fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
very, very good. Okay, so when is she coming out? She's not coming out for the Uke Fest, but she will be there for
the meeting the next Saturday.
The next Saturday. Oh, you're having the meeting. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. First Saturday of the month, you want to go up to Fort Uke up in Fort Collins.
Exactly.
And the second weekend, normally you'd go to Boulder,
but they're canceling that to go to the Uke Festival. Yes.
Denver Uke Fest is going to be awesome. Oh, but you want to make sure that you come Thursday for Heavy Metal Uke. They don't call it that anymore. I'm going to call it that forever.
Yeah.
Once again, hosted by one of the most attractive ukulele players on the Front Range.
Victoria's going to be there.
And then, so that's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then the next Saturday is the flower songs meeting.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be awesome.
Cool. Hey, Doug, I love the I love that you did the kind of the same thing. We have the backdrop here because my room does not look anything as nice as Ben's or Victoria's.
I had to take a half hour to make it work here.
Did you? You did a great job.
I got my old time radio. Tigers thing. I got the Tigers and ukulele and my Collins guitar there.
No,
I actually
we'll forgive you for that.
That's all right. I have
I've got a bookcase behind there. It's pretty.
I have a giant robot back here, but
man,
you're hiding him.
Yeah. I don't want the government to know that I have a giant robot.
Nice. Oh hell, yeah, it's on the internet, so no one will know that.
Exactly. So all you three people that are still watching now that Victoria's gone, just don't let the government know about my giant robot.
That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to get attractive female ukulele players on. Is that how we bump up the viewership? Because we're down to 2 viewers now. So thank you for hanging in there, by the way. YouTube.
I'm looking at Zoe Bestel's Facebook page. She looks really interesting. I gotta check out her stuff.
Yeah, she's a great young performer, up and
19.
coming.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's really cool that we talked to her. Wow, several years ago. She was still in her teens. Well, I guess she still is in her teens officially, but just how much support that her parents were giving her about this career that she wanted to pursue.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
It looks like she probably just looking at her, I bet she pushes the envelope a little bit with ukulele music, and I like that too.
Yeah, she's definitely coming from a different space.
That's cool.
On ukulele, and she had never like I said, she really didn't know about ukulele and ukulele festivals. She was kind of surprised, and she was like, "Really? Oh, really?
Right?
Festivals?" Like, "Oh yeah, get on board."
It's crazy.
Yeah, so cool. All right. Thank you to all my patrons and listeners, and thank you to the viewers. This is fantastic. I'm going to continue to do this for sure. Oh, and next month, I want to plug because we're going to be at the Denver Ukulele Festival, and I'm planning on doing a live broadcast from the Denver Ukulele Festival. I still have to figure out some of the logistics. It may be audio only, but I'm really hoping we can get video and audio. And not only that, we're going to try and tie in Gnuff. Mary Agnes Krell is one of the organizers, and she's gonna she believes that she can hook some people from their end. So this is going to be like,
well, I wonder if maybe we can hook Mighty Uke into.
I don't know. This would be like, wow, that would be maximum ukulele
that would be
festival.
Cool.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that offline.
Oh yeah.
I'd be totally up for that.
I mean, basically, it only have to be 3 participants, and should be their Wi-Fi should be able to handle it.
The time zone will be the worst part.
Well, but they're for them it's actually good because it's like 8 o'clock at night for them in England, and they're like, this is perfect. That's about when the performances will end, and
we're 2 hours difference between us.
Yeah,
I think,
so you'll be like at 3 o'clock. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's at noon. So sorry, it's at noon. So it'll be like 2 o'clock for you, and then it's like 7 o'clock for them.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be great. Okay. Well, that's it for the show. Remember, all you people out there, spread the word about the podcast, OokTown Podcast. Go to patreon.com/OokTown or go to OokTown.com/podcasts. Get more listeners. That's what we need. We're going to reach 2,000 soon, and that would be awesome because then we have that many more people tuning in, getting all this ukulele goodness. All right. So like we do on every show, let's say aloha on 3. 1, 2, 3. Aloha.
Outstanding. Well,